What's up guys and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here then welcome to our little corner of the internet. Today we're watching a video titled 10 Islands with Disturbing Secrets You Won't Believe. You might not guess this by the cat ears and the pink lighting, but one of my dreams is to take a vacation. Well, I don't know if it's called a vacation, but I know there are people that will let you go on it, like they'll drop you off on an island and then you have to survive for a couple of days. I think that would be awesome, and I'm so delusional that I think that I would survive. Like they basically just drop you off with nothing and leave you there, and then you just have to survive. Fun, right? I would love to do that, honestly. I don't know if I would love it, but I think I would. But yeah, so let's see what this video is about. Maybe this will make me change my mind.
Not surprisingly, it's known as Snake Island, and it's probably the most dangerous place on the planet.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at islands on Earth with the most sinister backstories of all time.
Yeah, okay, honestly, if they dropped me off on an island with dolls everywhere, that would, no.
And today we're looking at islands on Earth with the most sinister backstories of all time.
We're on our way to Jeffrey Epstein's infamous private island.
Sentosa, Pulau
Okay, yeah, no.
Balakang Mati, Singapore.
Living in Sentosa is a dream come true for me.
If you visited Singapore, you may have stumbled upon this island, currently home to a Universal Studios theme park. It might surprise you to learn it's also called the island behind which death lies. It's unclear where it gets its name. Some believe it was due to it being a haven for pirates. Others think it was haunted. There's no consensus. The simplest explanation is that it shelters a stretch of water from wind, making it dead water. When the British Empire ruled Singapore, it was home to a military base of theirs. The island became much darker during World War II, when Japan invaded and made it a prisoner of war camp, with roughly 1,000 Allied troops who were kept in poor conditions. Devil's Island, French Guyana.
It was one of the
Well, I think it's always interesting to see footage from the past, but that's so sad.
Conditions. Devil's Island, French Guyana.
It was one of the most feared places on Earth. A colony of the damned.
This island is currently a relaxing tourist destination. Centuries ago, it was a horrific penal colony where the French Empire sent thousands of prisoners.
It was so harsh it broke the spirit of even the toughest convict.
Between 1852 and 1953, 80,000 prisoners were sent there, with roughly...
Guys, I went into this thinking like I'm gonna see, like, I don't know, like poisonous crabs or something.
1852 and 1953, 80,000 prisoners were sent there, with roughly 2,000 surviving. No one was intended to come back. It was a place where criminals went to vanish. Many died due to diseases, but deaths caused by men were also common. Few penal colonies, if any, had harsher punishments than here. This made a swift death more appealing than the alternative, which was called the dry guillotine. A vast majority of prisoners were falsely convicted, such as Alfred Dreyfus, who was sent there primarily because of French anti-Semitism.
Alone on the island, except for a contingent of guards, Dreyfus was kept in a stone hut on the edge of the sea.
Island of the Dolls, Mexico.
Mexico's Isla de las Muñecas, or Island of the Dolls, is straight out of a horror movie.
This is
Yeah, this I would not like to. I would love to visit, but not stay, you know?
arguably the creepiest island on Earth you can visit right now. It's located in Mexico City, and its name comes from the vast quantity of dolls that cover the island. Roughly a century ago, its former owner, Don Julian Santana Barrera, started collecting dolls. Barrera hung them all across the island, which makes it look like something straight out of a horror flick. Barrera died in 2001, and since then it's become a tourist attraction. Visiting it isn't as simple as boating over, though. A fair few rowers refuse to take people there due to its haunting nature.
No one has confirmed if any of these dolls have come to life, but who's to say they haven't?
Hashima Island, Japan. Once upon a time,
Yeah, no, anything to do with like dolls or clowns.
Who's to say they haven't?
Hashima Island, Japan. Once upon a time in 1959, Over 5,000 people lived on this Japanese island off the coast of Nagasaki.
日本でも一番
This looks cool.
人口密度の高い都市でした。
It used to be a coal mine during Japan's industrial era, but it became abandoned after running out of resources in the 70s. In the 30s, they began forcing Korean civilians and Chinese war prisoners to relocate to Hashima. There, they were forced to labor in brutal conditions, which led to most perishing on the island. Since 2009, tourists have been allowed to visit the haunting island. Most of its industrial concrete structures still stand, but they're in terrible condition and are slowly being reclaimed by nature.
いくつかの建築
I think like these buildings that are reclaimed by nature look so pretty. Like the vines going on the buildings and everything.
物は非常に鉄筋の腐食が進み、ほぼ崩壊しそうな状態にまで至ってます。
Little St. James, U.S. Virgin Islands.
We're on our way to Jeffrey Epstein's infamous private island.
Also known as Epstein Island. The full extent of this island's depravity is still unknown. It was owned by Jeffrey Epstein from 1998 until he died in 2019. It's believed a ton of his most egregious crimes took place on this island.
Guy Dom says at the time he assumed that the passengers were Epstein's wife and kids. It wasn't until later that he learned Epstein didn't have a family.
It became a hotspot for his crimes against minors. It's believed that he invited many of his rich and powerful friends along. One of his victims, Virginia Roberts, claimed she was even abused by Prince Andrew on the island. Locals assert that this continued until 2019. Now it's owned by billionaire Stephen Deckoff, who bought it for $60 million in 2023.
I know this Epstein scandal was a very big thing these past years, but and something about a list, but I haven't been following it. I really need to watch like some documentary on it or something because it seems very interesting, but just very disturbing and annoying at the same time.
Reportedly plans to turn it into a luxury 25-room resort.
Clipperton Island, French Polynesia.
Their destination is 4 miles wide, a dot in the Pacific, and a week's sail away from civilization.
This ring-shaped island lies roughly 700 nautical miles southwest of Mexico. It's owned by France, but no one lives there. That's not always been the case. Mexico once laid its claim on the island, forming a military colony there in 1905. The Mexican Revolution dominated the 1910s, and Clipperton Island fell on hard times in 1914. This led to most of the settlers perishing, alongside the rise of Victoriano Alvarez, who proclaimed himself king of the island. The lighthouse keeper turned tyrant enslaved the island's women and ruled for 2 whole years. One of these
King of the island. Imagine having like that much, what do you call that? Ego that you just go into an island and it's like, I am now the king of this island.
women eventually snapped and murdered the brutal dictator. Fortunately, an American gunboat noticed them one day in 1917, then rescued the 11 survivors, all women and children. Gruinard Island, or Anthrax Island, Scotland.
This island is the key to some of the big secrets and what-ifs of 20th century history.
This remote Scottish island might look quaint from afar, but it's hiding a deeply disturbing past. During World War II, Britain attempted Operation Vegetarian, which aimed to cover the German countryside with linseed cakes full of anthrax. It was ultimately abandoned in favor of Operation Overlord, but not after testing it out on Gruinard Island.
The ambition was to develop a frightening new weapon.
One involved putting 80 sheep on the island, then bombing them with anthrax. As you can expect, this contaminated the whole island, making it unfit for habitation for decades after.
Anthrax is a naturally occurring but deadly organism, and any outbreak can have fatal consequences.
It was thankfully cleared up by 1990, after almost half a century of quarantine. North Sentinel Island, India. This island is potentially one of the most...
This looks very pretty.
North Sentinel Island, India. This island is potentially one of the most dangerous places in the world to visit. It's home to the world's most isolated community, the Sentinelese. We believe they've lived there for at least 50,000 years, with virtually no contact with the outside world. They're highly aggressive towards any visitors. This led to them killing fishermen in 2006 and a Christian missionary in 2018.
Jesus said, My Father has given me all authority over everything and everyone in heaven and on earth.
There was a brief period of friendliness during the 90s when Indian anthropologists gave the Sentinelese gifts. They returned to being hostile in the 2000s, and it's unclear why. Diseases may have spread to the islanders due to the gifts, or they may instead be angry that the gift-giving stopped. We'll likely never know.
Maybe they want to steal their women or steal their children because that's happened to them before in their history.
Poveglia, Italy.
Yeah, I don't get that. Why would you go to someone like some other? Well, I mean, humans have done that in plenty of times, but like, and steal their children. No, why wouldn't they be angry?
There are a few places on this planet that you can read the history of and leave you wondering, how is this possible? How did all of this darkness happen in one place?
This island lies a short sail south of Venice and was first settled in the medieval era. Starting in 1776, it became Venice's...
If you did kidnap a person from that island, though, sorry, I'm just, my thought process is a bit slow. If you did kidnap a person, like nearly an adult person from that island, then you taught them English, and then you could ask how they live and what they do and everything, you know, and how their mind works when they know English, and then you could bring them back to their island to explain to their people what's going on, and like, okay, we're gonna let you be in peace, we just want to know what's going on. Could that happen? I mean, you would basically kidnap, and then everybody would be like, oh my goodness, they kidnapped someone, you know, but then you would bring them back, so it would be okay eventually, no? Maybe, I don't know.
Their women or steal their children because that's happened to them before in their history.
Poveglia, Italy.
There are a few places on this planet that you can read the history of and leave you wondering, how is this possible? How did all of this darkness happen in one place?
This island lies a short sail south of Venice and was first settled in the medieval era. Starting in 1776, it became Venice's quarantine island for roughly a century. This has made it a widely sensationalized place in recent years, with numerous myths being spread about it.
I don't like it.
For instance, many claim 160,000 plague victims were abandoned there, but this is an unconfirmed figure. It later became a geriatric hospital, which remained there until 1968. Since the early 2000s, it's become a popular spot for paranormal investigations. Many of the buildings remain, but Venice seeks to make it a locals-only island, allowing people to avoid the hordes of tourists. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into Settings and switch on your notifications. Snake Island, Brazil.
It's probably the most dangerous place on the planet.
As the name suggests, this island has a terrifying abundance of snakes. Estimates believe there are between 2,000 and 4,000 snakes on the island. It's home to some of
That's a lot.
Earth's most venomous snakes, having venom 5 times as potent as a mainland viper. It's home to the golden lancehead vipers, who live nowhere else. They're currently critically endangered, making it important that no one visits this island, barring officials.
With these snakes, it will be a particularly painful death. You're going to die screaming.
These endangered snakes are declining in population,
I don't think anybody wants to go there.
largely because of illegal pet trading. So this makes it one of the least appealing tourist destinations on Earth, with a very high chance of dying.
If the signs don't warn you off, the residents will. All 4,000 of them.
Were there any disturbing islands we failed to include? Let us know in the comments below.
I mean, the most disturbing were everything that was human-made, like, you know, the camps and the prisons and everything. Just... I think the most fascinating one, though, it's the one with this little society that they have on the island. I think it would be so interesting to understand how they live there, but also I think that they should be left in peace, since, you know, the world should be everyone's, and I think everybody should have world peace. Oh, that sounds so like, but it's true. I don't understand why everybody can't just chill. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me for this video. I hope you liked it. Please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!